Hi, my name's Rambo. I am a small-time content creator over on the Purple Side, and I am currently doing the 30-day content creator challenge. So, this is day 12's video that should have been posted and is getting posted very, very late because I am horrible with deadlines. Um, Day 12 was tech tips for beginners. If you are looking for professional tech tips, definitely do not come looking to me. I am not a tech whiz by any standard. My coworkers would definitely say otherwise. They all come to me whenever they need help with their computers, but most of my coworkers are also classified as the older generations that do not know much about technology, even though they were there when it first started. So, I'm not the best person to come to when it comes to tech tips. I do well enough to be able to be a small-time streamer, but not well enough to be a full-time streamer, if that makes sense to you. So I'm just gonna hit on a couple quick points that I've learned just by streaming for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now. So, number one, you wanna make sure you have enough RAM. If you can't tell, I use my laptop for all of my gaming and streaming, and then I have a TV monitor that I use for my second monitor. My RAM that came with my computer was originally an 8 gig RAM, if I recall properly, which for most people is going to be enough RAM. However, for someone who is playing Sims while having a Discord voice chat up, while having my streaming software going, and having other browsers open at the same time, 8 gigs of RAM is not enough. And I didn't know that that was the problem until I met some people on Discord who were willing to talk to me about tech tips, and they realized that it was probably because I didn't have enough RAM in my laptop. And I wish I would have known that when I first got my laptop, and maybe I would have considered stooping up to the next model up because it would have had more internal RAM already installed, and it also would have had more internal hard drive space pre-installed for me. But honestly, replacing my RAM and upgrading it was easy enough. So look into how much RAM you have, whether you have an actual PC build or you have a laptop like me. Look into your RAM, upgrade it. Your RAM is going to help make sure that everything's running more smoothly, because if you have more space on your RAM, you're going to be able to have your CPU pull more knowledge more quickly. Your RAM stores your temporary information. So if you have your stream automatically live casting, having more RAM will help your computer run that stream directly to the internet without having to slow down other applications. One of the other tips that I have is making sure you have enough space for whatever you're trying to do. You would think that 512 gigabytes of space would be enough, but it's not, because I've got all of my games on there and I'm constantly having to delete and reinstall my games. So make sure that you have tons of space. It's another thing that you can technically upgrade if you want to, but I cannot do that with my laptop, because if I take out my internal hard drive to upgrade it to a terabyte or larger, I'm going to lose everything that's on my laptop, including my Windows. So I'm going to have to go through the process of reinstalling all of that software, and I don't want to do that. You can technically buy devices to switch it over yourself, but that's another purchase that you're going to have to make. So that is tip number 2, is making sure you have enough space. And then I have my blog up. I'm trying to remember what all the things I wrote on. Oh, your streaming software. Your streaming software that you are using. Don't worry about what other people are going to tell you. If you want to try something basic like Twitch Studios, you're welcome to try something basic like Twitch Studios. However, you need to explore all of your options, and you need to explore all of their usage. So Twitch Studios is great for beginners. So is Streamlabs. Streamlabs is really, really nice in the fact that it's easily laid out, and you can easily add different things. They have an entire store of options that you can do to change your layout, but they tend to use a lot more CPU than you may think. And it's because they have the background applications running. OBS is going to run a lot smoother because it doesn't have as many things in the background. But a lot of people are also scared of using OBS, including myself originally, because it definitely is not as user friendly at first as Streamlabs or the Twitch Studio application. But the great thing about OBS is if you really want it to, and this is what I do, you can have Streamlabs on your laptop or computer, and you can set up your layout in Streamlabs and then save a file to your computer, and then when you go into OBS, you can import that folder and it will automatically pull up all of your scenes that you created in Streamlabs. So if you find Streamlabs a lot easier to navigate, you can still use that, but then use OBS for the streaming part because your CPU usage is going to be significantly lower. You want to make sure, especially if you're having tons of applications running at the same time, that you're not overloading your devices, whether it's a phone, a laptop, a computer, a gaming console. You want to make sure that you are working within its limits. If you overdraw from its capacitors, whether it's a CPU, whether it's the GPU, whether it is the hard drive space, whether it is the RAM space, you might risk damaging your devices in one way or another, and it may just be getting overheated. So you want to make sure that you're checking all of your options and choosing not only what is best for you, but what is also best for your equipment. So again, I'm not a professional when it comes to using technology. I'm better than others, but I'm not the best. So take everything I said with a grain of salt, but definitely look into what upgrades you can use, and definitely remember to work within your limits. You don't need to go buying the most extravagant things, but you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of what you have without overdoing it. So that is it for me. If you want to come catch me on stream sometime, I stream currently every Saturday, and I hope to see you guys there. See you next time, guys.